What is going on, guys? How you all doing today? It is absolutely gorgeous outside today and I am dying to go outside. So first I've got to do this video, so I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm only joking, guys. It's awesome doing these videos. So yeah, we've got issue 2A of Ultimate Spider-Man. You guys have been asking for this like crazy, and this issue is pretty good. It's actually, we get to see like Peter discover some of his powers, discover how strong he is and stuff like that. So without further ado, guys, I'm sure you're all dying to see it. Let's jump right into it now. Alright, so the issue picks up whilst Peter Parker is in class, just minding his own business, and then his hands start to shake, and he knows that something's about to happen. And this issue is actually called Growing Pains, and that is exactly what's happening. He's growing into his powers, and then he just gets this surge of strength shoot through his body, and he basically breaks his desk in half with his bare hands. Now, this is one of my favourite parts of the entire comic book. Now, I know that we've only just started it, but this part that's coming up right now, Flash basically starts making fun of him and stuff like that, and Peter just turns around and says, "How about you shut that stupid face of yours, or I'll shut it for you." And that just alone made this comic brilliant, mainly because Peter has never stood up for himself before. He's never stood up for himself against Flash or Kong. You could see their faces, they were incredibly shocked by it. I've been seeing shocked like quite a lot recently for some reason, I don't know why. But as you can see there, Peter had muscles and he's just like, what the heck? Where did they come from? And he actually goes back into like his gym class, he goes into playing basketball again, and whilst he's there, Flash Thompson is actually hitting on Mary Jane, and Peter launches a ball straight into Flash's face, and it pretty much kicks off between Flash and Peter, and then we see this surge of confidence just build throughout Peter's day. You know, like he's never spoken like back to Flash, he's never stood up for himself, and now he's standing up for Mary Jane as well. And not only that, but now he's going to have a fight with him. So we go over to the next page where Flash is throwing punches at Peter left, right and centre, and Peter is just casually dodging them without even breaking a sweat. And everyone's just watching him, everyone's like chanting Flash on, and then Peter says, "No, I do not want to fight you," and he puts his hand up, and Flash punches his hand and breaks his hand. You can see just how awesome Peter looks there, and just how determined he is with his strength. And of course, he hasn't figured out how strong he is yet, so he could have seriously injured Flash and done even more damage than just breaking his hand. Now, I absolutely love this part about how rumours spread around school, and Kong says that Peter said that he's going to kill him next time. Like, what? He definitely didn't say that, but that is not what, well, Kong is obviously lying and he knows he is. But as Norman Osborn is walking past, he realises that Harry, his son, is good friends with Peter Parker, and of course he wants to get close to Peter to study him about the spider bite and stuff. So Norman Osborn tells Harry to invite him to a tour of the lab, and I think we all know that that is not going to end well. There's obviously going to be some kind of, not trap, but you know what I mean, like some kind of something waiting for Peter pretty much. Now we go over to Uncle Ben and Aunt May, who heard about the fight, and not only have they heard about it, they actually have to pay for Flash Thompson's hospital bill of $2,500. As we know, Uncle Ben and Aunt May, they aren't the richest people around, so they can't afford to pay this bill. But what's even worse is that if they don't pay the bill, then they'll be sued, and they can't afford that to happen. Now, they send Peter to his room, and Peter actually sits on the stairs and listens to Uncle Ben talk to Aunt May about saying how they can't afford it and stuff like that. So Peter's got to find some way of getting this money for something that he did defending himself pretty much, which is kind of messed up. And that just kind of shows how the little guys get picked on, if you get what I mean. But Peter wakes up in the middle of the night and needs to let off a little bit of steam. He wants to go and explore his new powers, see what he's capable of. And he actually runs down to this abandoned warehouse. And fun fact, guys, this abandoned warehouse actually becomes like a major thing later on in the Ultimate Spider-Man series. So yeah, just remember this abandoned warehouse basically. Now, as you can see on screen, Peter is testing how good he is, how athletic he is. He actually has the stamina of an Olympic runner, by the way, so that's pretty crazy. But also, as you can see on screen, he lifts this car without even breaking a sweat. He can pretty much just lift it with his fingers, and that is awesome. Now, he's like kind of freaking out, saying that he's Hercules and stuff. Now, I actually can't remember what is going on with his wrist here. I mean, I feel like they kind of just stopped talking about it later on in the series. You don't actually get like a solution as to what's happening. But that's just because I can't remember. We might actually figure out what it is, but as of right now, it slips my mind. Now, Peter apologizes to Aunt May and Uncle Ben, and they make friends again and stuff like that. And then we go over to Oscorp Laboratories with Harry Osborn and Peter getting a tour of Oscorp. And this is where we get introduced to Doc Ock, aka Dr. Octopus, later on in the series. And as you can see, he asks Peter about blood tests and has he ever had his blood taken before. Peter's spider sense goes off and Doc Ock just sticks this syringe into Peter's arm, takes his blood, and Peter just gets out of there as fast as he can. Now, as you could see, Norman Osborn set this up on purpose. Harry Osborn had no idea about this whatsoever, but Peter takes off as fast as he can, and because of his new spider powers, he's gone before Harry can even get to the door. This is also where it gets really interesting because we go back over to Norman Osborn and Otto Octavius and this bodyguard type of guy. And Otto Octavius basically just starts talking about how Peter has reversed the effects, like his body isn't dying anymore, he's actually gained some physical attributes to this, and that is what Norman Osborn wants to do. He wants to recreate the formula, the exact working conditions that gave Peter his powers in the first place. Now this is where Norman Osborn starts to get a little bit crazy, like he starts to get a little bit addicted to the idea of him creating Spider-Man, giving someone physical abilities and stuff like that. So yeah, that is actually where the issue ends. We'll have to see where next issue picks up, what it will bring us. But I'm telling you, it's going to be interesting, it's going to be awesome. But yeah, so what did you guys think of this issue? Let me know in the comment section below. The art was on point once again, I absolutely loved it. Especially the fight between Peter and Flash. It's awesome to see Peter's confidence coming through. I mean, he's only had his powers for like, what, a day? And his confidence is already sparking up. And that's awesome to see. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. What do you guys think? Let me know what you give this in the comments below. Make sure you hit like button on this video. Go to the link in the description to follow me on Twitter and Facebook. And hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in my next video.